Don't you need to take out your sky?
Are you sure you can cut or not?
Why? Why are you scared?
Hey, I'm famous, no? People know me.
Don't be scared. Where the comb?
Question from Ruben, from Ruben lah. Hey, Mr. Con, I am 22 years old, just finished my studies and going to work soon. I'm planning to buy a used Audi A4 B8 2013-2014, budget around 80-90K. Is there any risk of doing so since I'll be just starting to work? I meant in terms of maintenance and possible issues I would be facing using the car as daily driving. Well, this one, as for Audis, right, this one, Bobby is better positioned to advise you. But yeah, the A4 B8, very reliable car. I think most of the B8s in Malaysia are the 1.8 multitronic units. So those are pretty alright. If you can, right, if you can afford it, but I think those are quite rare. If you can get a 2.0 Quattro, that would be lovely. Okay, but the 1.8 is just good, just as good. It still has the looks, still looks the part. Of course, if let's say like your budget really is about 80-90K, as always, when you're buying a used car, have a bit of margin there to budget for repairs and restoration, and of course get a car with a good service history, and you'll be all right. Okay. Maintenance issues, the common German car things, you know, check the water pump, check the turbos, the thermostats, oil pump, and all these usual things. All right, see that they check that all the car has a complete service records. All these things are taken care of, and yeah, should be pretty all right. Okay, Car Guy 66. You're talking about Sweden's approach in dealing with the coronavirus. Well, you see, the thing is that you technically don't need a lockdown to deal with the coronavirus if the population is cooperative, if everybody knows how to stay away from each other, keep a distance from each other. But as we have seen all around the world, people don't seem to respond to that. People don't seem to take it heavily enough. Everybody is still going about their you know, gatherings, meetings, and all that. So yeah, I mean, until a point where the general populace are able to take it upon themselves to know how to separate themselves from each other, then I think you can look at a more a greater restoration of our freedom. Okay, this is Baldwin Chua's comment on my mini JCW Penang road trip review. Wish I could swap seat with your passengers and make this a whole lot more interactive. There's just so much more to agree and debate. Well, after this is over, maybe we can get together. Join us for one of our upcoming drives, and yeah, and we can maybe sit together and record a video in my car or your car. King Seong Hee, regarding the comment on the E46 gearbox rebuild, I have to say totally agree with you. Got an E46 325i as well, currently undergoing a gearbox rebuild. Sure, plenty of replacements out there that were much cheaper, but like you said, it's a lottery. I do want to keep it, so if it needs to be fixed, better do it properly. Keep up the good work. Have been watching all of yours and Bobby's videos. Haha. Okay. Baldwin again, you can charge Carlsberg for product placement on this 40-minute video. Oh boy, that would be so good. GZC, are you start to get used or tired of your E39 power but 6-cylinder? Well, I won't get tired of that 6-cylinder engine, but I wouldn't mind a bit more power. So if budget permits, maybe an upgrade to a 3-liter in the future. The locksmith said, damn Con, you fold clothes, carry infants, change diapers while vlogging seamlessly. Such a pro. Okay, I'm going to show this comment to my wife. Lee Ronald, ultimate driving machine, BMW. Oh yeah. Top Gear always rock. How's the W219 CLS? What?
No lah, I'm just saying I can do this.
350 versus CLS 55 AMG. No contest lah. It's the CLS 55 AMG because the CLS 350, 3.5 liter V6 low output. It's like you're paying what, 6,000-7,000 road tax for 270, 280 horsepower. Not that worth it. If you are really looking to spend right, go for the CLS 55. Way more worth it. Baldwin again. Instant change to joyful mood once you're in the E39. Guess that's when you know you got the right car. As I said yesterday, it's really the sense of occasion that you get when driving the car. It's the way the car reacts, the way the car behaves and responds to your outputs that give life to the driving experience. Darren Ying, you already committed an MOC offense, may be summoned to 1,000 fine. Better take this video down ASAP. Okay, so let me just clarify. So yesterday I went out. One, okay, I've got multiple reasons of going out. One is to take all this barang that my sister-in-law is using here to cut my hair because I'd rather not go to a barber. Two, I've got bananas to deliver to my mother, so that's two reasons to go out. Three, my S-Max is damaged. I'd rather not use that car, so I went to my mother's house to swap for another car that's running fine. So all in, there are three reasons for me to go out. And yeah, sorry, going back to the reason for me sending the bananas to my mother, well, I just spared my mother a grocery trip. That means I am reducing the chance of them catching an infection as they go out to buy their things. The way I look at it is I had several reasons to go out. I didn't just take my car, go pusing jalan-jalan and come back home. And on top of that, throughout the whole time I was out, I interacted with no one. Even when I was at my mother's house, she was inside the house talking to me over the window. Whatever that she wanted to give me, she put outside the terrace. Whatever I wanted to whatever I wanted to give her, I left it on the terrace there, and she collected it later. So there was no physical interaction between me and anyone else while I went out. How is her haircut okay?
It's good.
You don't perasan Okay, all Shuki. That F30 arrived faster but no joy. It's like point and shoot. E39, it's like slow cooking a Wagyu steak. It's an experience. You can drive it without a purpose or destination, and fuel bill is still worth every penny. My dad used to have a Mercedes 124 and drove the car without him knowing. Naughty, naughty. And it was such a joy. Yes, going back to the same point I make, it's the sense of occasion when you drive the car. And no offense, the F30 is a very capable car. I've driven multiple examples of the F30. I've driven multiple examples of the F10, even the new G20, G30s. Great cars, but they don't give that same feeling that BMWs from the E39 era do. Okay, so AKJW. Question for the next video. Recently saw on Carlist there's a 2013 Subaru XV around 50k. Thoughts on the car and if it's worth getting it? The Subaru XV is a mechanically solid car. Reliable, well built. Of course, when it comes to maintenance, you do have to be selective with the people who fix your car because the Subaru Boxer engine configuration is not common. And also the way Subaru's powertrain layout is also uncommon because most cars, it's either you have like all your Mercedes, BMWs, and you have your front engine, longitudinal engine, rear wheel drive, send power to the rear wheels, or you have a transverse engine in front, gearbox one side, and power the front wheels, all right, in most normal cars. Subaru, you have the Boxer engine hanging ahead of the front axle, gearbox sending power to four wheels. So it is a very unusual mechanical setup. And even out there in the market, right, Subaru gearboxes are all in-house. I believe even their CVTs, they are all in-house because nobody makes transmissions, third-party transmissions that are suitable for Subaru. So the cars are durable, the cars are reliable, but the servicing costs in terms of labor will be a bit more expensive because you just imagine, let's say, just to do a spark plug change, it involves taking the engine out from two sides as opposed to one side on top. So, and yeah, so that is the one thing really I would want to look out for when it comes to buying a Subaru. And of course, the other thing is buying the XV, right? You sit inside the XV, the design of the cabin really feels very old school. It feels like it comes from the 1990s. So you've got to be the type that really appreciate mechanical premiumness for you to be able to truly appreciate the merits of that car. Okay, then you continue. Likewise for Inspira at about 30K right now. I saw Naz's video a few days ago, but would like to hear your thoughts on it. The Inspira is a wonderful car. Definitely 30K I think is on the high side, so maybe you can negotiate a bit to bring the price a bit lower. But definitely good car, fantastic handling, very playful chassis. So the general consensus is that the Inspira is actually an improved car over the Lancer dynamics-wise. The Lancer, when it first came out, a lot of people commented that the car is very tail-happy. So Protons softened that. Protons dynamic engineers, they softened that. So what they have is that I remember when I drove the test car in 2012. I remember that car was super fun to do handbrake turns on, right? Or when you make a turn, yank the handbrake, the tail just throws out, but you counter, it catches very, very easily. So yeah, definitely very nice to drive. The other good thing about the Inspira is compared to the Lancer, Inspira tire size is far more common. The Lancer came with some odd-ass 18-inch wheel, 18-inch tires, whereas the Inspira, depending on the year, came with 16 or 17 inches. So way easier for you to source for replacement tires. Yeah, overall definitely worth to buy, and it's a nice car to drive. Okay, this is an interesting question, Joey. Hey Con, how do you tell if the car has a good chassis? And to me, this is something that is very subjective. I would say a good chassis is one that gives you confidence. And good chassis is not just about stiff, no body roll. It's not that at all. A good chassis, right, is one that gives you the confidence to put the power down. It's one that communicates with you. It's one that when you drive it, based on the feedback through the steering, through the seats, all right, through the pedals, you can tell whether that car is still in control or about to give way. So a good chassis, in my books, is one that is progressive. It's one that it's communicative. It's one that is responsive. So for me, a good chassis, right? The one road that exposes whether a chassis is good or not is the downhill stretch on the road up to Genting just before we reach Gotong Jaya. It's the one where you have multiple corners. It's the one that you have multiple corners going downhill. That is the one that takes power out of the equation, and you can feel that from the way the car reacts as you make the turns, how good that chassis is. For me, a good chassis is one that when you take bends, it flows. It has that flow rather than depend on sheer grip. So it means that a good chassis is still able to maintain a fair amount of control when you're tight, when you have not so good tires, and one that does not need the ESC to come in and save you time and time again. Of course, within limits lah. So Ross Nova say, does Ford still have pre-owned S-Max? The latest I asked, no. Okay, Herson. Kurangkan menggunakan bahasa Inggeris supaya memudahkan lagi untuk difahami untuk orang yang tak tahu bahasa Inggeris supaya subscriber bertambah. Okay, bro, ini saya punya ini saya rasa susah untuk buat sebab kebanyakan penonton saya adalah penonton yang bertutur bahasa Inggeris. Tetapi apa yang saya dah buat beberapa bulan ini adalah menambahkan lagi video berbahasa Melayu. So jadi saya memang sebagai rakyat Malaysia, saya memang tidak menepikan kepentingan bahasa kebangsaan. So jadi memang bagi saya kandungan dalam bahasa Inggeris akan kekal, tetapi kandungan dalam bahasa Melayu akan tambah. So terima kasih atas sokongan. Sila tonton, terima kasih atas sokongan. So saya akan tambahkan lagi video bahasa Melayu dalam masa akan datang. Ijin Tan, barber shops can be open next week. They can, but honestly, I don't know. I rather not. I don't quite feel safe going to a barber shop because you think of it from two ways. One, if touchwood if I'm currently carrying the infection, I may infect the barber may infect his next clientele. Same thing. If any of the barber's clientele or the barber himself is infected, that is a prime hotspot, prime coronavirus cluster waiting to happen. So honestly, opening the barbers, to me, as much as I sympathize with the barbers' loss of income, I don't think it's a fabulous idea. Leong, spreading the poison, 6-cylinder poison. You gotta know it. Faisal, driving ultimate driving machine, muka ada senyum. Oh yeah. Suani Go, interested in a Mazda 6 2018. How's the air conditioning as compared to Toyotas? Well, Mazda has a lot of good selling points, but admittedly AC is not a unique selling point, it's not a major selling point, but it's not bad. It's not bad. And Mike Cole adds, Proton needs to up the game on reliability and fine-tuning. Yes and no. I think reliability-wise, their cars are okay. But fine-tuning, definitely. It's like my old Persona, my 2016 Persona, right? When we got that car, it was to me fundamentally a good car, but at the same time, it felt like an unfinished product. Same thing with early batches of the Waja, and also the Preve in 2012. A lot of cars that Proton launched, right? It's like, you know, underneath they are good cars underneath, but a lot of finer details didn't seem like, you know, it was polished off properly before they signed the car off. So hopefully under the new management, this would change. Certainly when I drove the 2019 Persona recently, it did feel like a market improvement from our 2016 car. My 2007 Waja also feels a much better put together and much more refined car than those Wajas of the early batches. Lokdan, your Proton Waja paint and interior in surprisingly decent shape. What are your car care tips in terms of washing the car? Do you wash at those roadside car wash? Suggestion for budget tinting brand under 500 ringgit. Now, I rarely wash my cars. So I send my car to normal car washes outside. But I think the most important car care, all right, if you want to preserve the paint and interior of your car, park it under shade. Invest in shaded parking. That's the best car care tip that I can give you. I would say also try to avoid car covers because they trap moisture in. So the best kind of parking, right, shaded parking will be shaded but ventilated. So car porches of landed houses, definitely good. Basement parking, a bit less because poor ventilation. multi-story parking, you know, both those 5th floor, 6th floor, 7th floor, okay. Best if you park as near to the edge as possible so you get some good ventilation. As for tinting below 500 ringgit, well, I'm not much of an expert in tinting lah, but I know that below 500 ringgit, your choices are pretty limited, and quality of the tint aside, you're also talking about workmanship that is not as good. So maybe you may want to up your budget a bit to at least 800 to 1000 ringgit. Okay. Hey, you done already? Okay. What's your thought on the Infiniti FX37? Is it reliable? Would it be a fun car for B-road driving? Or should I just go with a GTI? Well, funnily enough, if in this case the German car is the safer option, not so much because of reliability per se, but because it is one that more you have more commonly available parts. But out of curiosity, let's see how much can you get an Infiniti FX37 for. It's not a bad choice. Wow, still holding value, man. So the cheapest that I'm seeing here is 83,000. Most expensive is 112,000 ringgit. So this is you see, the thing about the Infiniti FX and your GTI, they are two very, very disparate choices. I mean, the GTI is a hot hatch, whereas the FX37 is a proper SUV. The GTI is 2-liter turbo, low road tax. The FX is what, 3.7 liter V6 NA, and it's an X5 sized car. So totally different vehicle type. But to answer your question, it's reliable. Would it be a fun car for B-road driving? Tight B-roads? I have my doubts, but I'm sure it'd be pretty alright on the highways. Diana, cheers bro, was having beer too while watching this video. Vignesh, between 1.4 Golf, 1.4 Audi A3 2014 or 1.4 Jetta, which one to go for? How much roughly do you think should be put aside to make the car run in mint condition? Which will be more welcoming in Evo Enduro? These cars or some other car within this price bracket? I think the A3 versus the Golf versus the Jetta, price-wise, they are quite far apart. But under the skin, they are all the same car lah. Okay, based on last year's qualifying criteria, the A3 qualifies, the Jetta twin charge will qualify, the Volkswagen, the Golf 1.4 Mark 6 twin charge would qualify, but the Mark 7 Golf and the Jetta with the EA211 don't qualify. Why? Because our qualifying criteria is the A3 qualifies because it's an Audi. The Golf Mark 6 and the Jetta twin charge qualify because they have superchargers. I think okay already lah. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Done. If my wife reject me tonight, you're gonna kena.
Don't worry, she won't. Why, you look fine, what? Looks nice. Look neat.
Guys, what do you think?
What?
Okay, but anyways, let's check the resale value of the cars that you mentioned. Audi A3. The 1.4, wow, 75,800, 77,000. Yeah, okay, not bad, 72,000. So it's about the 70,000 range lah. Okay, so Golf. You see, the other thing is that the Golf, right? Which one are you looking at? Mark 6 or Mark 7? Personally, I think the Mark 6 is the more problematic one, but at the same time, the twin charge car, it's the more powerful one. But overall, the Mark 7 is way more refined. Okay, so definitely, I would recommend the Mark 7 if your budget allows it. 2010 Mark 6, 34,000. 2012, 43,000. Let's look at some Mark 7s. Wow, 05 33,000, no? Let me see if I can find a Mark 7. Ah, no Mark 7 ah. Ah, Mark 7 got one, 60,000. So you're looking at a significant price jump there. 58,000 is what year? 58,000 is a 2014 car. So yeah, I mean, good, definitely good buys. I would say the Mark 7 is a lot less problematic. Okay, let's look at the Jetta. Jetta 2012 34,000, 2014 34,000, 2017 67,000. So the EA2 the EA211 cars, the one with the single turbo, those are, whether is it the Golf or the Jetta, they are the ones being higher value, of course, because they are also the newer cars. All right. So reliability wise, definitely go for the EA211 cars, no doubt. But the EA111 cars, those are the ones with the really punchier engines. I would say between these three, go for the Audi if you can afford it. All right. How much to set aside to make the car run in mint condition? I think 5 to 8K will definitely get the car back into a shape where you can use it on a day-to-day basis. Exactly, IS250C or Golf GTI, Lexus for me. Okay. What's your take on the Ford Mondeo? It's quite hard to hear on reviews. Go search AutoWorld, go search Carlist. No wait, Carlist isn't there. I've reviewed the Mondeo when I was in AutoWorld, both the previous gen model and the current one. I'm not sure which one you're referring to. There's the 2.3 Duratec model, the first Mondeo that came into Malaysia. That one, very kosong car, but that's the most reliable one because 2.3 NA. But that was the car which I first got acquainted to the Mondeo, and I was absolutely blown away by its dynamics. But will you believe it? That car actually did not have electronic stability control. Yeah. So that was a major sore point, but lovely chassis, lovely car to drive. Then later they introduced the Mondeo EcoBoost with the 203 PS and the 6-speed power shift transmission, and then the 240 PS. So the Mondeo EcoBoost, of course, there were question marks on the reliability of the power shift transmission. Those had issues. They had issues with the steering rack because the electro-hydraulic power steering rack system is not entirely stable. Then after that, the next generation Mondeo, which shares platform with my S-Max, that one has the same 240 PS EcoBoost engine, but with a 6-speed torque converter gearbox. Now that one, of course, is a more refined car, more comfortable, but it does not have the same kind of handling worth that the previous generation Mondeo had. So, of course, there are way more units of the previous gen Mondeo available in the market. Okay, and those cars are silent killers. I remember I did a comparison test. I pit the Mondeo against an F30 328i, and would you believe it? The Mondeo didn't win the comparison, but it had enough performance to stay really close to the 328. So that car it really is a silent killer. But if you buy one of those, you just have to be prepared prepare a chunk of money to fix the power shift transmission if it goes nuclear. Okay, so but lovely car to drive, absolutely lovely car to drive. Always enjoy driving one of those. Okay, so Marco D, hi Con, I'm planning to get a used car. Have 3 cars in mind right now. Mazda 3 2.6, Mazda 3 2016, Accord 2015. What's your third car? All right, which is the best car and reliable? Both are reliable. Of course, the Accord is way more comfortable, way more spacious. Mazda 3 is better to drive, better fuel efficiency, more advanced engine. But it's really a choice of your preference. If you're buying as a family car, of course, the Accord is a better choice. But if you're buying, if you want something a bit more sporty, a bit more dynamic, go for the Mazda 3. And Darian Lee, my dad also had the KE70. They call it the black belt version due to the protruding bumper and square headlamp. It's the facelift version from your dad's car. Yeah. The one that my family had was the one with the 4 round lights. Your father sold it for 15 grand in 1991 and traded it for a new Light Ace. Bought it for 13 back in 1981. Yep, great deal, great deal. And the best part is whoever that bought that car for 15K in 1991 probably can sell it back for the same price today. This is a comment on my Persona video. Is it possible to transfer a number plate? Thanks. Yes, it's possible, but you can only transfer it to a new unregistered vehicle, and both vehicles must be registered under your name at the time. So yes, it can be done, but there are restrictions. You can't transfer this number to an old car, an already registered car. Okay, so this is a comment on the walk around video I did on the Mercedes E200 W212 used car walk around. I'm looking for a pre-facelift model which is more durable, as someone told me. Maybe you can get both models a fair look before. Yeah, go look at them. Both of them are fine, but of course the pre-facelift model had the older, more proven 1.8 liter engine. I know that the newer 2 liter model, the 2 liter engine, has a tendency to clatter like a diesel engine. It's just a characteristic of the car. It does not diminish the driving experience in any way, but if that is your concern, yeah, then go for the 1.8. It's not bad. The W212 is an E-Class that I rate very highly, so definitely, in my opinion, I thought that's the best E-Class since the W124, in my opinion. So that's all the comments I'll be answering today. Any questions that you have, drop it in the comment section. Drop us a line on Aurizn Facebook, and we'll get around and answer it in the next video. All right, cheers. What kind of barber this?